Hi there, it's Cooking with Kenny G. Now in today's video, hang on a second. Hello? Yep, no, I'm busy right now, I can't do it. You guys are bananas, okay? Stop monkeying around. Crazy kids. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to make a beautiful chocolate chip banana peanut butter loaf. Now this is a marriage made in culinary heaven. What a flavor upgrade. Listen to that. It's got a hit of protein in there with the peanut butter powder and the nuts. This is a flavor upgrade on those tired, old, spotty bananas. Now on this channel, I want to help you level up your cooking game with pro tips, tutorials, videos, and just all around cooking lessons. I want to make your time in the kitchen more fun and enjoyable and impress you and your guests with all the new skills that you've learned. To be honest with you, we all gotta eat. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure to take your spatula, smash that subscribe button. Well, don't smash it, you know what'll happen to your computer if you do that. Check the description box down below for any links. Also, I'm gonna put a PDF recipe in there. You'll be able to print it off and start your own Pro Hitters cookbook. Don't forget to leave any questions or comments in the description box down below, and I'll make sure to get back to you on that too. If you've seen my videos before, you know what I'm gonna say. Let's put on the apron, grab the knives, fire up the stove, get after it. All right, so let's get this party started. Now, like with all my other recipes before, if you've watched any, and I hope you have, if not, I will explain it to you again. Now get all your ingredients together first, and then you wanna get all your equipment together too. Now that's gonna help you out a little bit with the timing. There's gonna be less mess, less stress. Your time baking or cooking is gonna be way more enjoyable. So what you're gonna need for this recipe is, you need some mixing bowls. You're gonna need a 9.5 by 5.5 inch loaf pan. You need some measuring cups, measuring spoons, a spatula, a whisk, of course my always present pastry scraper. These things are fantastic for everything. Ridiculous blue glove for taking hot stuff out of the oven. Optional digital scale. Now I like to use a digital scale when I'm doing my recipes, especially when I'm baking, because I like to weigh everything out 100% more accurate. I'm going with the scale on this one. You don't necessarily have to use the scale. I will leave the measurements in the description box. That's where the recipe is going to be. It will be downloadable PDF. You can print it off, but I will put all the measurements in the video as I'm going along and doing everything. Now you're also going to need a mixer for this one too. Now whether you use a hand mixer or the KitchenAid, and that's just for creaming the butter and the sugar together. Now let's get to the ingredients. I've got here 2 3/4 cups or 385 grams of all-purpose flour, 190 grams, 1 cup packed brown sugar. I've got 260 grams or 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of cubed butter. Now the reason I cubed that is when I put it in the mixer, it just mixes up a little bit easier, and that's at room temperature too. 20 grams or 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I also have 4 grams, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Now the reason I use kosher salt is it's a little more coarse and it adds a little bit more of that saltiness into a baked product. Now here I've got 2 mils or 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I also have 1 mil or 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. I've got 3 tablespoons or 45 mils of peanut butter powder. Now this is what's gonna add the peanut butter flavor into the banana bread. Now the reason I didn't use liquid peanut butter is this one actually incorporates better with the dry ingredients, and it also doesn't add a whole bunch of moisture into the banana bread. Now the best part, I've got the dark chocolate chunks here. Well, best part for me anyway. This is 90 grams or 1/2 cup, and I've got 100 grams or 1 cup of chopped walnuts. Now that's optional, you don't have to put that in or not, but I like nuts in my banana bread. Now for the wet ingredients, I've got 3 large eggs here, 4 mils or 3/4 teaspoon of pure vanilla, 200 mils of buttermilk. So that's it for the wet ingredients, other than of course those 3 stad bananas that are gonna go into it. So let's get everything together and start mixing. First thing I'm gonna do is get the room temperature butter and the brown sugar mixing. As that's mixing, I'm gonna mash up the bananas. That'll be the first part of the wet ingredients. This one's kind of a wet and then dry ingredients. I'm overcomplicating this anyway. It's a very simple recipe. So let's get started with that. It's been mixing for 2 minutes now. The color's changed a fair bit. It's gotten a lot lighter, and that's because breaking down those sugar crystals and adding a little more air into it. Time to get those bananas mashed up. Now I got 3 bananas here. I don't know if I said that in the recipe or not. 3 fairly large bananas. Sugars have developed in these. They are nice and sweet. Potato masher. Best thing for mashing bananas rather than the fork. A little easier to push down. Mashes them up real good. Does it a whole lot quicker than a fork. There you go. Those are already mashed. Look how fast that was. That's my pro tip. All mashed up, ready to roll. Gonna add those into the butter and the sugar. Now they're going to mashed bananas. Just gonna give that a little bit of a mix, and then I'm gonna add in my other wet ingredients to that. I'll just mix it for 10-20 seconds. Perfect. Let's get that off the mixer and then get the other wet ingredients mixed into it. Preheat the oven to 350 Fahrenheit, and it's gonna cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. It's time for the rest of the wet ingredients. I've got the 3 large eggs. Crack those in the bowl. Just gonna give those a little bit of a whisk. No shell though. Just mix them up fairly quickly. That's all you need to do. Then time for the buttermilk. Just give that a little mix. That's all you need. We're gonna add the butter, banana, and sugar mixture into that. Just give it a little mixy mix and then get the dry ingredients together. Not gonna use a whisk though because bananas make such a mess of a whisk. I can use my spatula. That's about all you need there. Get a little clean up here and then we're on to the dry ingredients. Make sure you have a big enough bowl to take the volume of all the dry and the wet ingredients together. I've got the flour here. If you want, you can substitute out the white flour and use whole wheat flour. That will give a little more nutrition. I've got the soda here, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, and the peanut butter powder. Just get it incorporated in there. That's all it needs. I'm gonna add the wet into the dry and then the tasty bits, and we're good to go. Let's add the wet mixture into the flour now. All right, the wet into the dry. Now you don't want to mix this up too much because we are using all-purpose flour. We don't want to create the gluten. Add the vanilla. Almost forgot about that. Just want to bring it together now. You don't want to mix it too much. There is buttermilk in here though, and the acid in the buttermilk actually helps with the gluten not developing too much. Add those chocolate chunks in there and the walnuts. Give that a little mix. Make sure you get down to the bottom. Mix all that wet and all that dry together because I just want to bring it together. Get those dry ingredients well mixed. Now that's going to go in the pan, go in the oven, and we're good to go. Now, pro tip for the baking pan, a little pan spray in there, which isn't a pro tip, but put a little bit of flour in there. Just get that all to the edges. As the batter bakes in there, when it's finished, it's actually going to help it release from the pan. Time to get the batter into the pan. A little bit of mix, make sure all those heavy bits aren't down to the bottom. Beautiful, looking good. I'm gonna fill this one almost to the top. Now, as you can see, I got a little bit extra here. I'm gonna make a couple little muffins with that. Just a little treat for me. Get this in the oven and get going. That excess batter, let's make a couple of muffins for treats. I got here, it's like Scooby-Doo. Make some Scooby-Doo. Scoop the batter in, gorgeous little muffins. Get all that delicious batter in there. Don't want to waste any of this. I got 4 extra ones out of there. Okay, I'll get those in the oven with the other stuff. See you in an hour. Give me a chance to wash all these dishes. It's been 45 minutes, the timer's gone off now. I'm gonna grab the banana bread and I'm gonna show you how to check it. I don't think it's ready yet, but let's give it a go. It looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, here, come a little bit closer and I'll show you. Now what you can do is take your skewer, insert it in, and pull it out. You can see that's still a little bit moist there. There's still a little bit of raw batter, so I'm gonna put it back in the oven for about another 15 minutes. Can't wait. All right, back in for 15 minutes, and then it should be ready to go. 15 minutes have gone by. Banana bread's, I think, ready to go. I'm gonna bring it out and check it again. And then it's gonna go in a cooling rack, cool down. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is ready. Don't forget that blue glove, you don't wanna burn yourself. Just put it on a cooling rack there. Just let it cool down for a little bit. I'm gonna show you a little pro tip. About 5 minutes have gone by now. This is the pro tip. All I'm gonna do is take the bread, flip it over on the cooling rack. That's gonna do a couple things now. It's gonna compress the bread a little bit so it's a little bit flatter and not humped in the top, so it looks a little more pro level. And it's also gonna unmold the bread, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. I promise you, we are done. Now I know it seems like a lot of steps, but it's not. The banana bread is cooled now. Comes out beautifully. I'm gonna flip this over. Now I don't know if you can tell or not. It's a little bit flatter now because it's been compressing down. It looks a little bit more uniform all the way across. So that was what I was going for. All done. Thanks so much for watching. Now don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed our time together and you learned something on your way to Flavor Country. Time for me to have a little piece of this beautiful bread I've been waiting for a while.